basketball, the road to victory. Sponsored on WFSB by the Connecticut Personal Injury Law Firm of Riscassi and Davis.
All right, so before our game clocks run out, we have just enough time left to get our crystal balls out. So Joe, Marc, and Nkwa, you guys have covered these teams day in and day out. If you're filling out brackets, who are you picking? And Joe, you're up first.
I'm a little conflicted about this. First of all, the UConn men, I feel bad because everybody in the world is picking them, and I also think that they're going to win the whole thing. I think if they will play their best game, they cannot be beaten. And other teams along the way are going to have to play their best game to beat them and hope UConn, the men, take a step back. The women, this is where I'm conflicted. So I've been covering the women more often than not because they've been in the tournament more than the men. I've never picked them not to win. This year, I am not picking them to win. I just think that they're a little short. You know, they've got a couple of freshmen. I think they're not big enough. They've got one of the best players in America. They've got a couple of All-Americans. They got a great defense. But I'm picking Iowa to win the whole thing. I don't think anybody else, or a lot of people are, but I do like Iowa. So the UConn men and Iowa for the women.
All right, heart's breaking at home. Marc, what do you think?
Well, I'm glad Joe stole a little bit of my thunder because I didn't want to also, and I'll get to the women in a moment, talk about them not winning, but I have them getting to the Final Four. But for them, on the men, yeah, there's nothing that I see in the bracket or with the way UConn plays that is going to change the outcome. Like last year, the UConn men will win. I'm also surprised that Joe, for the first time in 365 days, didn't bring up the fact that he thought they were going to win last year. And you brought that up.
And I have the bracket back at the desk.
See what I mean?
Plus, I knew you would mention it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think UConn is in great shape. You know, they're going to have trouble. They're going to have tests along the way. Iowa State, Auburn, they play the way UConn does, but UConn's better at it. So that's why I think they'll get into the Final Four, and then I think they'll win it. On the women's side, I think UConn gets to the final game and loses to South Carolina. I think there's revenge on their mind. They'll play Ohio State in the third game in the Sweet 16 if both go as chalk as we expect. So I think I can't see Nika Mule going out before she gets to the Final Four.
All right, Nkwa, what way are you leaning here?
I mean, let's face it, we've seen UConn basketball play three of its worst first halves back to back to back when the stakes are at their highest, and then they obliterated the competition. I don't think I could, in good conscience, not pick UConn to win. They've waxed poetic about it. I'm not going to add much more. As far as the women's side is concerned, what I love about their bracket until they get out of stores is that they're going to be challenged at every single point, right? We know Gino will never have his girls unprepared, so I've got them losing in the Elite 8 to USC. South Carolina's my champion.
All right. For me, UConn men, big thanks to Dan Hurley and his crew. They are so mentally tough. I just can't imagine anyone overcoming what he has been able to build. And I'm going to go for the UConn women, but I'm also going to pick an underdog, the Princeton Tigers, because the standout UConn player, Carla Berube, who is also my coach at Tufts University. So go Huskies and go Tigers. Thanks, guys, for your insight.
Thank you.
All right, well, our game clock, it is quickly counting down.
But before the final buzzer sounds, it's only fitting to have the UConn band play us out.
Good night and go Huskies.